man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language. But don't worry, your message remains clear.
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from between his fingers. His hands are large and clean.
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
How could anyone forget, asshole?
Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes?
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Can I help you? Another thing. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
What? Did someone mention my name?
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3 nicked the phone line. Everything is okay here. Good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it. Was there anything else? Yes.
You see a heavy steel. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop. Master Investigator. You just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them. All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on. You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
No.
Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic. A little.
Feels like a lot. Too much to play it again.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit. Indeed, think of them as balls. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease. Go, go, Fingerboy.
I feel sorry for the gods. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was. The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist. An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent. He also hit his wife and kids, other people's kids too, sometimes pets. Hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board. And although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something blasts. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid, nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
I've seen it before, played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
How, if you can't even see it? The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy. This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, "Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5. Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is good. He likes it. There's a little smile there, in the dark of the workshop.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind Classius' room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways.
Between that and that. The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor. You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions. You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural. This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Yeah? I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
Huh. This isn't good.
She's straight as a stick, suddenly. She feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door. She's lost in thought, eyes narrowed, forehead furrowed.
All right.
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
He was 42.
"42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound? On his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes,
Oh, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
it was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
She understands what autopsies entail. It doesn't get her off balance.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
This means his race was Occidental, which fits the statements of another witness.
Yes, we were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No, he was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex. Alcohol. No love for Muta Oranje? Wasn't he a soldier?
No, he left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person, a small platoon leader, certainly not a patriot.
A flash of rage comes over you. The words have already left your mouth.
Had he passed that test, we wouldn't have gotten along. Come to think of it, maybe it was our hate for Oranje that brought us together. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me too. Oh, that. Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. Oh, yeah. No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions. Pertain.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drug. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search. The lieutenant glances at the road. You could say he's on the lookout. The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
I'm definitely not the cavalry. Yes, I am. I know.
Here's the real deal.
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? No, you're not. You're not the only cop in the world.
Something changes in her. It's pity. Pity comes over her.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want? What precinct?
Fucking deranged lunatic.
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
And you look like you don't bathe on principle.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? Well, raising 2 children and half a husband on a patrol officer's wage? Yes, I guess I am working class. Okay. I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith.
I'm just looking out for...
You?
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are.
You're a fucking asshole. Are we done here?
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything. Kuno doesn't fucking... Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Fuck no! What are you? Fucking mentally handicapped?
Kuno, they've almost made you a snitch now.
Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Yes? Yes?
The trash containers, the smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. There's nothing more of interest, not much to see here anymore. You see, milk, you've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows. The method, a box falls into pieces in your hands. Baptiste Soleil, you see, You've done this before. No. Searching. A box falls into the container, sounds a muffled gong.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? No, because in this thought experiment, we are police officers in a police station. We don't do crimes. We're not crime bros.
Come on, stop it.
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by this sunglassed man.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness.
Okay, why not? So, do you know who hanged him? I don't know. Why? Oh my god, there's more. You want something?
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at, but still. Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again? I can't believe this shit. I'm going to say no, just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? God fucking shit.
None of this is great news for him. Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again.
I'm going to say okay.
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme. Hi again, gendarme.
It's the sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly. 2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun. A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below.
For bravery.
It's a conflicted topic for the old veteran. There must have been a number of controversial episodes in his service days.
No! We were the last ones to keep all the baby killers and rapists in check. And let me tell you, son, if there hadn't been Royal Carabiniers, Revachol might not be standing at all.
Whoa! Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off to memory lane.
For doing my duty in the heat of battle, for looking my mortality in the eye, when men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shat themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frisel thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
You can. It's very asinine. He really despises that Drisson fellow.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camo.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage. I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee. I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnaud, le fléau des chevaux.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Tresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The Dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one. Right. So I grabbed the prick and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frissel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth. The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drizant. 2 days later that was. And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't hand this out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot. Repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand. Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it. Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. And 782 Royal Carabiniers are dead because of his incompetence. Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh, yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please, bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day? It is such a sweet, sweet Jenny. Ask away, officer. I knew her. Of course, officer.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really holding himself back here.
Okay, what is back there? Yes, haha. What's actually behind there? There is no gaping maw. If you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. That's okay. Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there. Those machines are whirling property, but if it makes you feel any better, I'm not planning to sell them. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here, other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble. What wall? I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face. What a shame to fix such a good peephole.
Absolutely not. Fuck you for even implying it. It wasn't me. It wasn't my stuff. The establishment will look at it and ascertain what it was.
Sir, he was only asking a question. It's his job and mine. See that it's covered.
Yes, I absolutely will. Sorry, it's been a bit of a day. And now a hole in the wall. Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not. Yes?
The ship takes off like a silvery mosquito, unfolding its rotor blade arms. She mumbles reading, then puts down the soft cover.
Yes, a sci-fi. Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Looking for something to read. I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
She gives you a short nod and shifts her attention back to books. Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.